Hi again. Just thought I would do a quick tour of the snake room, at least the part with the snakes. Um, Not sure if you really want to see the rats. I mean, I could show you the rats. They're, you know, as you know, they're in these racks and they have the food on top and the water bottles on top, and it gets the job done. These are some of my weaned rats, some of my older ones that are very soon to be food, as it turns out. But if you get down here, you can see that you got some babies. So, got a big nest of babies right there. Got one that's fallen out of the nest, and we'll just put you back. And you can see that when there's two females, and if you can see in there, there's actually two females. But they like to consolidate all of their babies into one nest and take turns sitting on the nest rather than having two nests active in there. But as for the snakes, we're going to move up here. We've got, of course, Saffron, who was down here, but because of where Buster is, I wanted to minimize contact as much as I could with the mouth infection going on. He's a lot better now, so it may be that Saffron moves back down there beside him. But as you can see, she's still up here. I just fed her yesterday, so she's nice and full and probably doesn't want to be bothered. But you can see Saffron there. And then that brings us down here to Trinity, who may strike at me. I don't know. She's a little weird. Not going to strike at me, and still having trouble getting her to eat. She'll kill the rat, she just won't swallow it. She's got a really nasty habit of just leaving the rat once she kills it and not swallowing it. So we're having a lot of trouble getting weight on her, which is why she is not breeding at the moment. But she is very pretty, and she is eating just enough to kind of stay around, you know. She seems like she eats when she really needs to, but not to any kind of excess. Next door to her is Tusk, who may be hungry, so I'm going to carefully open this cage up. I wouldn't want to get struck at. Even though Tusk is a really nice snake, like he's probably one of the tamest that I have, he still does have a feed response, and when he's in the tub like this and expecting food, he can still, I mean, any snake can still strike if they mistake your hand for food. But if I get this a little bit closer here and let him just come all the way up and investigate the camera, he's going to realize that it's not food. And at that point, I'll probably be able to just kind of reach in here and get him out, or, you know, pet him if I want to. I'm not going to get him out because we're going to go and check out the rest of them and see how they're all doing. So below Tusk, we have Buster, who I'm not going to touch with my hands because I want to be able to get to all the other snakes. And because Buster has been sick, I don't want to touch him and then touch the others. So there he is, and he is getting better. He's getting much better. As you can see, we've got him back on mulch and off of paper towels. He has been eating. He's been eating very well, and you can definitely see that his mouth is getting better. I doctored it this morning again, which he did not appreciate, but the swelling is going down. It is looking better. So slow but sure recovery on these guys. They have a slow metabolism, so you know, anything with a slow metabolism is just going to take them a long time to repair themselves, especially when it's something like an infection where really it's inside their body and their immune system is having to fight it off. It just takes a long time. So that brings us down to Triton, and Triton is one that is growing very, very fast, and as you can see, he's hungry also, looking for food. So I'm not going to reach my hand up too much on him because I don't want to get struck at. Yeah, you're expecting food, aren't you? Look at him, he's like ready, he's ready to go. Sorry, bud, I do not have food for you. I'm going to have to poke you back down. Sorry, bud. Not this time, maybe next time. No. You gotta go back in. There you go. I don't want to shut your head in the door. All right, so below Buster, we have Little X, and Little X's tub is going to be empty because I have him in with Pearl at the moment. He is over here, and so far, these two have not done anything to speak of. They are making progress, but you can see that Pearl is like expecting food, and generally a breeding snake is not going to expect food. That's not something that a breeding snake is going to do. So that is a little bit discouraging. But what isn't discouraging is the fact that they are not distancing from each other. They are kind of staying in the same area, and they're kind of moving around each other. So that is a little bit encouraging. But right now, Little X is not showing any interest in Pearl. So, but there he is. There's Little X, and there's Pearl. And, you know, maybe something will happen between those two. I am not sure. I hope so. But if we move on, we've got Diablo, who just shed out, and he didn't poop, so his cage isn't messed up too badly. So that's good. And he'll be expecting food, so I'll be feeding him very shortly, probably tonight before I go to bed. He can be expecting a rat. And then we have Twilight, who is very full of rats. She's the only one that has a hide box because she is small in kind of a big cage. I felt like a hide box would be good for her just for security reasons so that she doesn't feel like she's out in the open. And it actually has been helping her. But there she is, and she's really full. So I'm not going to bother her too much. I'm going to kind of let her rest in there and digest that food. But you can see her. You can see that she's growing. Like, she is considerably bigger than she was when I got her. She's eating really good, and she's growing, which is great. That's great. It's what you want to see for a snake that you plan on breeding. The more weight we can put on her in the next 2 years, the better. The more better of a breeder she'll be. Now, Ivan is going to be next, and he may strike, so I'm going to be very careful opening this tub up. But there he is. And you can see he has shed. He just shed. And I fed him the same night as Saffron, which was last night. So he's nice and fed. He's doing good over there, but he's you can see he's still hungry, looking for more. So he's always been a growing boy. Now Ifrit, I'm going to tell you, is not only is she striky, but she also has made a mess. So I will have to clean this cage out. It's looking kind of messy, especially up in front. We got some urate and some poop up there in the front. But there she is back there. Also expecting food, so I'll probably clean her cage and then feed her once she's in her new environment, because I don't really want to feed her while the cage is all dirty like that. Now Stitch, again, probably... Now he's been getting a little bit better. He's not been quite as bitey and striking as much, that I've been paying a little more attention to him. He's getting a little more used to me putting my hands in here. So I've gotten to where I can kind of do this, and he'll ease up. He'll ease up off the feed response and not just try to maul me every time I go into the cage. So, you know, when you get one that's cage aggressive like that, giving them some attention is a good plan. It tends to socialize them pretty quickly with ball pythons. Vesper is doing okay. He's growing, much like Triton. And it looks like he has shed. And there's some poop in there, so we're going to have to clean his cage too. But other than that, he's looking pretty good. Growing, getting bigger. Kind of browning out a little bit. His pattern, whoops, I don't want him to fall out of there, but his pattern's not quite as orange and bright as it was. That's okay. He's one that probably I'll end up parting with. I'll end up selling him. And then Xena is one that I was going to sell, but now that I'm doing work with this granite line, it may be that I need Xena next season. So I'm trying to put some weight on her and get her to grow, because I would like to breed her. Whichever you know, whichever banana baby I decide to keep, I'll put with one of these granites, and then Stitch will go with the other one, with Breanna being the other one. Speaking of Breanna, that brings us to the larger rack where we do have Breanna here. And as you know, she has had her prelay shed, and she is very much sitting on the heat. So she is warming herself, she's warming those eggs, and really, you know, really kind of hunkering down and nesting down. She's projected to lay eggs somewhere around the 15th of May. So looking forward to seeing that. I don't know how much we're going to get from her, but I'm expecting a fairly large clutch, as she is my largest snake. Brian, well, Brian's been doing all right. He was off food for a while, but he's been looking for food lately, and it looks like he's looking for food now. So he may be getting a rat tonight before I go to bed, because anytime I can get Brian to eat, that's always a good thing. So we're going to go back, because I definitely do not want him striking at me. He is very, very strong, and it would not be fun to take a bite from Brian right now. Ditto, who I've been trying desperately to breed, is in shed. So you can see that she's kind of turned, like compared to Tusk, she's the same morph as Tusk, but if you'll notice that she kind of has a pinkish look to her, and that's the dulling out, that's the you know, kind of bluing out, if you will, of the old skin as it's starting to come away from her body, as it's starting to detach from her body. So her eyes will be clouding over. They're not clouded over yet, but they will cloud over here in the next day or so, and she'll go through a shed cycle. Already seen Pearl. Kay has a very, very dirty cage. I need to clean that up, and I almost don't even want to open it because it's so bad. She's made a mess, and it's like really terrible. She shed last night. So we've got an old shed in there. We've got a lot of poop in there. This one needs cleaning up, and I had to go to Home Depot today to get, see, you can get the old shed skin, and got a lot of poop up here in the front that I'm not going to show you, but there's Kay. She's still doing good. She's looking hungry again, so she may get fed tonight as well before I go to bed. And then last but not least, we have Moka, who I figure is, well, she's obviously looking for food, so I'm going to have to be very careful here that I don't get my hand bitten. But she has got some dirty water going on, so that's going to have to be dealt with. But yeah, not going to bother you too much because you're obviously in food mode, so just going to let you go. All right, so that concludes the tour of the snake room. Obviously, I've got a little bit of work to do. Probably going to feed snakes tonight. There's a few of them that need to be fed. Ivan looks like he's hungry. Diablo needs fed. Moka, Brian, we'll try those guys. So going to feed some guys tonight. I'm not going to do a lot of cleaning tonight. It's kind of late, but that will be definitely a project for tomorrow, as I'll have some rat cages to clean tomorrow as well, with trash day being on Wednesday. So with that, I'm going to end this video, and hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.